Hello all and welcome to today's video. My name is John McFall and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour, and I also teach you how to make semi-passive income. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the fact that doing food delivery can cause issues with your family. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of different things to keep an eye on when you're doing food delivery to make sure that you and your family are, number one, getting the money that you and your family deserve, but also to make sure that you guys keep in mind that you need to make sure that you're taking care of your family when you do food delivery. Before we get into the topic, I do want to remind you that in my description, you'll find 3 great tools, which is the Beans app and SimplyWise and QuickBooks Self-Employed. These are some great apps that you can use when you're out there doing food delivery to help you improve what you're doing. Also want to remind you, head down into my description and go grab my metric spreadsheet. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen real quick so you guys can take a quick look at it. If you look at the left-hand side, you'll see I always put my start time and my end time, and this gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles, and then if you look to the right, I put in for each individual app the dollars that I've made, the time that I've worked, along with the number of deliveries. Then head to the bottom and you'll see it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, your dollar per mile, along with your average per delivery. If you want to know how well you're doing when you're out here doing food delivery, the only way that you can is to keep track of your numbers, and this will show you where you need to improve. So head down into my description, go grab that metric spreadsheet so you can keep track of the numbers for yourself. And with that, let's get into the topic. The reason that I want to talk about this topic today is because food delivery has affected me and my family. It's also probably affected many others. So I wanted to throw a quick video together today just so I can kind of throw out to you what I think about it and to make sure that you guys are keeping your family at the top of your mind when you're out here doing food delivery. I want to talk to you a little bit about what I've gone through and how it's affected me, and kind of, you know, where I got to after a point that I was working months and months and months. When I was doing food delivery, I was working a full-time job. I was at my full-time job for 9 hours a day. I worked 8 hours, I got an hour lunch, but I was pretty much in the building for 9 hours a day. I was also doing food delivery. I got off of work and I went home. I picked up my wife, I picked up my baby, and I went home and picked them up so that I could go out and do food delivery. Sometimes after I got done working my full-time job, I would go out and I would work 2 or 3 hours doing food delivery. And this was because this is what my family needed financially to take care of us. I also had my YouTube channel, so I was working so many hours a week, probably up to between 70 and 80 hours a week between my full-time job that was 45 hours, my YouTube channel, which takes me about 5 hours, and then probably somewhere between 20 and 25 hours a week doing food delivery. This causes a big strain on families. This causes a huge strain on your family. And I ran into a situation where I just basically said to my wife, you know, I really like the money that we have coming in from doing food delivery on top of my full-time job. But for me, it's not sustainable long-term because my time spent with my family was when I was working. And I want to make sure that you guys, when you're out here doing food delivery, that you don't devote so much time to your food delivery stuff, especially if you're working full-time, and especially if you are working on semi-passive income, which I preach on this channel. Make sure that you guys are taking time out for your families and for you so that you can have some downtime, and you can have some time just to be a family. So if you're really struggling with that family time because you're out here doing food delivery on top of maybe a full-time job and maybe working on semi-passive income, make sure you put on the brakes and you check yourself to make sure that you're giving your family what they need and what they want from you, which is your time to be a family. The other thing I want to talk about is financially. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I've heard some comments on my videos. I've seen people on other YouTube videos talking about the fact that it is difficult for some people to make money when they're out here doing food delivery. I preach to you and I give you the strategies to go out there and make $25 to $30 an hour in the videos that I put together. I also go out and make $25 to $30 an hour on a regular basis in my marketplace. Sometimes, like last week, one night when I was in Auburn, Indiana, I worked for a few hours and I literally made $17 an hour because that's what the marketplace was producing that evening. So I always take the good with the bad. I know that I'll make up for the money that I need when I go out there, and I will get back up to my average between $25 and $30 an hour for the week, even when I have a bad day. However, if you find that you're out there doing food delivery and you are consistently struggling day after day and week after week, making only, $15 to $20 an hour even, and you're struggling to get that extra money, go down into my food delivery playlist so that you can learn the strategies to increase your income, because when you're out here, you are trading your time for dollars, as I have said many times before. It is active income, and what active income means is you are not making money unless you are out there moving food in your vehicle. You do not get paid unless you are physically doing something. So to make sure that you're getting the most out of that time and to make sure that you're making the most money for that time that you're out there, you gotta know what the apps are in your marketplace, and you gotta know how they work. You've gotta study DoorDash, you've gotta study Uber Eats, you've gotta study GrubHub in your marketplace so you know how they work in your marketplace. On top of that, you also have to understand how your marketplace works. I know when I go into Auburn, Indiana, even right now as it's starting to get colder, we haven't got snow yet this year, so we're not in that very cold weather with snow coming down yet, but I know for a fact when I go to Auburn, it is a crapshoot. Some nights I can make, even $35 for an hour when I'm out in Auburn. There's other times, like I talked about last week, where I made $17 an hour. It is so far across the board on what I'll make in Auburn. And if I didn't know the strategies that I do and I didn't understand my marketplace, I would not be making the good money that I can make when I'm out here. So it is imperative that you get the money that you need when you're out there, and you learn how to do it to get the most money when you're out here doing food delivery. We all come out here to get the money that we need, no matter what our situation is. Maybe you have a full-time job and you need some extra money. Maybe you're out here working this food delivery stuff full-time, and this is what you want your full-time income to be. And maybe you are just looking for a little bit of extra money for right now and you don't plan on doing it long-term. But the bottom line is your family is the most important thing in your life. So make sure when you are out here doing this food delivery that you keep your family at the top of the list, because that is the most important thing that you have going for you. If you find that you are working so many hours that you don't have any family time, refigure your schedule and figure out how to do it differently so your family can get that family time that they need. And if you are not making the money that you want when you're out there, either learn the strategies and figure out your marketplace and the apps, or figure out a different marketplace to go to so that you can get the money that you earn. If you know all the strategies, you know how the apps work, you know the marketplace, and you're still not making the money, that might mean that the marketplace isn't the right place for you to be to get the money that you want. As I've said again in some other videos, I do not work Auburn, Indiana in the summertime. When the summer slowdown hits, I go down to Fort Wayne, Indiana, because Auburn doesn't give me the income that I need and that I want, and the amount of dollars for the time that I put out there when it's so slow. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you got a lot out of it. Always remember to put your family at the top, and it is even more important than the money that we make. Our family is what, gives us the life that we live. So with that, I want to remind you, head down into my description and go grab the Beans app and SimplyWise and QuickBooks Self-Employed. Also go grab that metric spreadsheet for yourself so you can start seeing where you are and seeing where you need to improve. Finally, I want to say I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.